Welcome back, riders, to another episode of the Passenger Seat. Woo! As you know, with our episodes that have been going on so far, we talk about the recent episode of JJK, and then afterwards a little bit of nerd news for you guys, trying to keep that going until JJK goes on whatever hiatus they're about to go on, or But so far, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we've been doing pretty well in these videos. I think people really like them.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. All right. I don't know if you want to start, if you want me to start for the episode.
Let me go ahead and start, simply because,
okay,
if you guys have been paying attention to these episodes, I am a person who doesn't deep dive into this. I have no spoilers, so I can give you a review of like how someone doesn't know that saw this episode compared to what Joseph knows. I honestly, I really did enjoy this episode. I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it, simply because, in a way, I'm not like the biggest fan of the. I always forget his name too.
Megumi?
Yeah, Megumi. Sorry, I forget his name.
Okay.
But honestly, I really did enjoy this. I did enjoy from the moment they met up. We're talking to the receipt dude, and then the other guy. Like, I think the most enjoyable thing about this episode, before I go too into it, is the creator of JJK's ability to make powers that are just out of nowhere. Like, they're so random, but it works. I don't know how, but he makes it work. Like, there's a dude literally spitting out his eyeball because pieces of his body explodes. I was like, and the receipt ability that he could just grab any receipt of whatever's written on the receipt, he can manifest it. I was like, dude, broken. Obviously not that broken, because you'd have to collect a lot of receipts. And clearly the guy took the time to collect a lot of receipts. He wears it all over his body. So I got to give it to the creator of JJK, honestly. The originality of just creating these powers is crazy, dude. So the fight scenes were really good. Megumi was giving it his all. I really enjoyed that. But the star character of the episode, was Half Man. That dude was
Takaba.
Dude, he was so funny. When he obviously he was meant to be funny, but in the beginning when he came in and he was just like, "Oh yeah, like I'm Half Man, like I take inspiration from this comedian or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, cool." And then all of a sudden he does a drop kick that sends the other guy flying, and I was like, oh, he's actually really good. Like, he's really tough. Like, I don't know exactly what his ability is. He almost seems kind of like a superhero with like a dumb catchphrases and stuff, but he was a really enjoyable character, really random. But honestly, I feel like in that moment, it was like stealing the show. It was like he stole that episode because it was just so out of pocket. They're just like, oh, okay. But all in all, I really did enjoy the episode. It was very enjoyable. Obviously, compared to some other episodes in season 3, it's not top tier, but it was actually a really enjoyable episode. I, as a person who doesn't know anything about it, I just enjoy the creativity. It was just so great because I wasn't expecting it,
Yeah.
Anyways, you go ahead.
Well, piggybacking on what you said, I agree. I feel like the best thing about the episode is the way that Gege wrote the abilities, these curse techniques for these characters. It's just so original. It's such an original use of their powers. Now, here's what I want to... Here's a little thing that I just, popped up into my head.
Okay.
Isn't Reggie an incarnation of a old sorcerer?
Who?
Reggie, the receipt guy.
Oh.
Is he?
You saying like what year is he
Isn't
from?
he? No. Well, he's supposed to be one of those reincarnated sorcerers who knows Kamo.
Right. Uh-huh.
And what I'm thinking is like, did they have receipts back in his day? Like, you know what I mean? It kind of got me in a loop. I'm kind of thinking over it right now. I'm like, did they? Like, how was it back in the day? And like, how do you? I don't know. It's just this weird conundrum going on. But point is, I think the originality,
Yeah.
Jesus, was really good for this episode, especially with those curse techniques. Obviously, Reggie's being the most unique in the sense of
The most
him
unique.
doing all this
This
stuff
dude
with the
threw
receipts.
peep at someone and exploded.
Yeah, but that's not really unique. It's like, okay, exploding body parts, sure.
Yeah. Like
But
that guy from
the
DC that
idea
can
of,
rip
like-
off his arms and let it fly.
Yeah. But the idea of like this character pulling things out of receipts and him knowing, like, him having the combat ability or intellect to like sort of know where and what receipts he's pulling
Yeah.
and what he needs to pull out at that specific time is really remarkable. And then there's the fact of the other side of his ability is that he picked up that receipt for a resort, a 2-day resort and spa,
dude,
and
that
he's
was
like,
so broken. I was like, dang.
dude, that is busted,
I was like,
dude. He's like, oh, I'll just.
It's like one of those video games where you pop up the heel. I was like, damn, bro.
For real, dude. It was like, let me just take a 2-day, rest in R&R, you know what I mean? And it's crazy. So I think Reggie, even though he looked silly, he had one of, the best abilities I think I've seen, or at least the most original use of an ability like that I could ever think possible.
It was definitely
in an
original.
animation. I want to say this. I feel like this anime, Gege and JJK will inspire a lot of future animes to go really, all over the place and out of the box with the way that abilities sort of work and the standard way that a person would typically think that abilities go.
Yeah, very.
And I know that we've seen this. Yeah, and I know we've seen this in a couple of other animes, right? I forgive me, writers, if I fail to mention some obscure anime that nobody really knows about. Maybe you can let us know in the comments. But for me, it was like with My Hero Academia, where we saw abilities used in different ways, or not abilities used in different ways, but like abilities that you wouldn't think heroes to have. And so that was sort of the inception of, these powers that we typically see getting used this way, getting used in some other ways, or powers that we didn't even really think of as being powers, and here they are. So super original. And I think Gege is another pioneer in that. And we can only hope that will lead to, the inspiration of many other artists and anime creators who will do a lot of really cool things in the future. So that being said, I think the episode itself was great. A lot of great art. And we need to talk about Takaba. You're so right. Dude, Takaba came in and it was the funniest thing for me where he's like, 0 damage.
Yeah.
And dude, and everybody's just staying silent like,
dude, that part was so funny. I didn't realize how long it was going to last. I thought it was just Megami, but then the other two guys started doing it, and I was just laughing the whole time they were standing still. Just,
dude, it was honestly comedic gold.
Yeah, it was funny.
The way they just stood there, and it was the longest pause. It was like a minute.
It was,
and it was so funny, dude. I found that hilarious. And here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you Takaba's power because I know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
That's good.
Because they're probably going to, Tengen is probably going to do an explanation in the next episode. So, yeah, just be ready for that. Because once you see it, I just want to see what your reaction is.
Okay.
That's going to be a good one for the next episode. All in all, we got the episode, but like continuing on with Reggie's ability. First of all, before I get to that, yes, first of all, that animation with the dude who explodes his body parts, of when he first dropped the eyeball, that fireball, that animation was insane. That was like real fire.
You know what's funny is this whole time while we're talking about the guy with the guy with the exploding body parts and Reggie, there was literally 2 other people fighting there that are so forgettable that you're just like
yeah. Dude, for real, the guy, but we need to mention the guy that Megumi offed, dude. It was really,
I didn't expect it.
Intense. Just like his daddy.
I didn't expect it. When he did that, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
boy, serious
Megumi
now.
And, they did. I saw a reel on Instagram where it's Megumi and Toji side by side, and Toji's doing that thing to the octopus, and Megumi's doing that to the dude.
Yeah.
Just like his daddy. Anyways,
he's like a kind of like
going back to Red,
like a Sabretooth, right? He reminded me of Sabretooth from X-Men. He was kind of like a cat type person. I don't even know how to explain him.
Yeah. But going back to Reggie's ability, was pretty cool in that gymnasium scene where he throws 2 literal trucks at Megumi and then hits him with the potted plants into the bouncy balls, into a slurry of different items, and then the flying knife, and then we learn he can also give simple commands to the items he pops out. Just absolutely nuts. And then we get the episode culminating in what is probably the coolest version that we've seen Megumi's domain expansion up to this point. And he does the Shadow Chimera Garden, and dude, the pulsing electrical thing that he's got going on in the background, it just looks so insane. I'm so hyped for the next episode, so I really can't wait. But
one of my favorite uses of the receipt was when who was it? I think it was Megami, where he was like, I'm gonna make it flood in here, and the dude's like, surfboard. I was like,
surfboard.
Bro,
yeah,
what?
Yeah.
It's so random.
Yeah, but it was good though.
Yeah, it was good.
The surfboard was good.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think that the episode was really good. I shared your sentiment. I found the episode really enjoyable. So it's left me with a good sort of feeling for the next episodes to come. But with that being said, that brings at least my thoughts on the episode to a close. So let's go ahead and hop into the nerd news. But before we do, writers, let us know what y'all thought about the episode down in the comments below. We always appreciate that. And with that being said, let's hop into nerd news. Rock, paper, scissors, see who starts? No.
No, I don't care. You can say I only got like I got like 3 things.
Okay. I got a lot.
Oh, okay. Let me just start off because mine is 3 things, but they're not long.
Okay.
So I'll just start off with the simplest one, which if we discussed this before on the channel on the Nerd News, and if you were a fan, I'm so sorry, but Hulu is no longer doing the reboot for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is canceled before it even left the ground. It only had like the casting, and then they didn't even film.
Wow.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is apologized online. She said it wasn't obviously her fault or anything like that. It wasn't the production's fault. They just couldn't. I think it had to do with maybe the money or the time. I don't know what it is. So for you fans out there, I'm sorry, but don't worry too much, because technically they could go to another studio and pitch their idea, and then maybe that studio will pick it up. So hopefully you guys will get
Netflix.
what you deserve, a reboot.
Netflix.
Other piece of nerd news for me, and obviously it's a big deal, is 8 days ago from this time of recording, which by the time it gets released, maybe it'll be like 12 days ago. They have released season 2 trailer of Dorohedoro. It is on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. There's a lot of things, obviously, as a person who has read the manga, I recognized, and I was like, I can't wait. Like, this season is going to be fire. Obviously, it's MAPPA, which is fantastic, because MAPPA is really good at animation and fighting, the fighting styles and things like that. For those who, it is on Crunchyroll, because when Dorohedoro first came out, it came out exclusively for Netflix. But now they released the first season for Crunchyroll, so people can get caught up. Whoever doesn't have Netflix, which, I mean, if you don't have Netflix, I don't know. But the people who don't
It's
have
getting expensive.
Crunchyroll don't worry, because they're also releasing the second season on Netflix as well. So they'll be released on 2 platforms for those of you who can't have this one or can't have this one. You can either watch it either way you want. So that's pretty cool. It won't be like the first season where it comes out all at once. It's gonna come out every Wednesday. So it'll be about 12 episodes. Sad, but hey, it's like JJK. You just have to wait every week.
Yeah.
And my last piece of nerd news is something I really enjoy. It was very good to hear this news. I think Joseph will be excited as well. And that is the live action creators of One Piece, besides moving on with a 3rd season, are doing Samurai Champloo. And I was so excited when I saw that news, because I was like, a live action Samurai Champloo. And let me tell you, it's only like 12 episodes. They can make it work. There's no over the top powers or anything like that. It's just something so simple, but it was such a brilliant anime that Joseph was actually the one who introduced me to. And for those of you who don't know, Samurai Champloo is about 2 samurais and 1 trainee who are trying to find the mysterious samurai who smells like sunflower seeds. And throughout it, they get misadventures and like all this type of stuff. And is also the same creator as Cowboy Bebop. This was his second idea. So honestly, I'm really excited for that. That got me hyped. I can't wait to see the live action form. Hopefully it turns out exactly what I want and expect.
So that was actually one of my bits of nerd news.
I'm
correction,
sorry.
Fu is not. It's fine. Fu is not a trainee. She's just basically wrestled these 2 guys into
She does some training.
finding the
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Anyways, I guess that means I'm rolling into my nerd news.
Go ahead.
The first thing I want to talk about is JJK season 3 part 2 is possibly delayed till 2027.
No. Yo.
Yeah.
So what's the last episode for part 1?
I can't say. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh.
I know what it is. I'm just not going to tell you.
Okay, but it's like coming up. Close?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're close. I think there's only like 2 more episodes left.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Like, is it episode 13? Is it episode? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever.
But anyways, the interesting part about this is that obviously Go Shizono is leaving MAPPA, so we don't know who's picking it up. Hopefully within that time, we already spoke about that, but hopefully in the time frame from here to next year, right? It gives them enough time to sort of work on it and basically bring out all the stops.
Yeah.
The same way that season 3 has been doing so far, and it might be a little bit of change, but we'll see. I'm hoping for the best for the second part of season 3, because it's going to be huge, and we need all that we can get basically for part 2. So we'll see. My other piece of nerd news was regarding Samurai Champloo. So I will skip that, and I'll get into my next piece, which is no, it's okay.
But look, we had the same thing. We were like, "Hey, this shit."
we did. So my next piece of nerd news is that they've selected the voice cast for Avatar: Aang: The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
So we've got Steven Yeun as Zuko.
Okay.
We've got Eric Nam as Aang. We've got, I don't know if it's Nam or Nam, Jessica Matten as Katara, and Roman Saragosa as Sokka. Dion Kwan, I hope I'm not mispronouncing these, as Toph. And Dave Bautista as an unnamed villain.
Yeah, yep. I remember hearing this.
Yes. So pretty interesting stuff. We'll see how that goes. I'm really excited, obviously. I mean, I'm assuming that the whole Atla fan base is super pumped about this one. Obviously, it being animated, it's bringing us a little bit more into the future with the excuse me, with the Avatar gang. So it's exciting.
We actually talked about that one time in the channel about the reason they would change the original voice actors.
Yes. Yes. And well, I don't know. Voice acting is one of those things that I feel like, since we're not seeing them, the people on screen,
Yeah.
and we leave the facial expressions and stuff up to animators, it's, I think in a sense it's easier when it comes to enjoying that type of media. So we've got the next piece of nerd news here, which is Daredevil Born Again season 2 premiering 24th this month.
On top of that shit.
We got yeah. So super exciting about that. If you're a Daredevil fan, of course, I know you're prepped and ready for that. And that basically kind of brings me to the end of my nerd news, and will let me roll into the things that I've sort of watched, seen. Well, there's one more piece of nerd news, and it's the trailer for, if you've seen it, I don't know if you have, They Will Kill You trailer.
No.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna send it to you after this. They Will Kill You. Same director as the directors of It.
Oh, cool.
So it looks, it looks pretty promising. It's not really a horror. It's like this comedy action horror-esque kind of thing going on. Sort of like Shaun of the Dead-ish.
Okay.
If based on the trailer, you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right.
And now rolling into things that I've seen this week, got to talk about for the furry community.
Oh, Jesus.
So I watched Beastars. Yes. I got hooked on Beastars because of a friend of mine, and let me tell you, I got hooked on the first 2 seasons. They were good. They were compelling. Now the 3rd season, it dropped after a pretty long wait, and unfortunately it was a little bit of a letdown. It felt very rushed. It had that same feeling as BoJack, kind of, where things were like moving a little bit too fast.
Okay.
And things concluded in a way that didn't feel great, to be honest with you.
Oh.
So for those of you expecting Beastars, know that it's a little bit of a letdown. At least it was for me. And I also saw a movie called Perfect Blue.
Before you continue, the creator of Beastars has another manga called Sanda, where it's a little boy who turns into Santa Claus.
Oh, I've kind of seen it. Yeah.
They actually released an anime. It's about 12 episodes on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it when he turns into Santa.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
you're fine. Me of that. I was like, wait.
The last bit here is I saw this movie called Perfect Blue. If you haven't watched it, have you heard of it?
I've never heard of it.
Okay, Perfect Blue is an animated movie from 1997, I believe.
Okay.
And it's this psychological thriller, basically based on this pop idol who decides to leave and go into acting, and she has a stalker. And
is this animated?
Yes.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's old.
It is old. It is. Dude, it is insane. Like, you should watch that movie. It is, honestly, the plot twist was crazy, and some of the themes in there, and they don't hold back. The animes back in the day, they really didn't hold back with, like, when it's showed certain stuff. I'm not really gonna say the words here just in case. But dude, it's pretty messed up. So I definitely recommend it if you want to check it out. And I thought it was a great piece of work. So yeah, that's basically all I had. I don't know if you have anything else.
I've heard of it being like a classic. Like, it's like one of those anime movies that people should know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think people should know the movie. It's not for everyone, rated 18 plus, but definitely worth checking out. So yeah, that's it for me. I don't know if you've had anything else to add on top of that.
No, I mean, I don't have any nerd news for you guys. By the time of this recording, I just want to say congratulations to Michael B. Jordan. He won the Oscar for Best Actor for Sinners, and I still haven't seen it.
There you go. Oh, Such a great movie. Anyways, riders, thank you so much for joining us today, and hopefully you will join us on the next one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We always appreciate it. Until then, peace out.
Peace.